Alright, what is good? I just want to make a quick video about these two snowboards. They're both Burton Customs. I don't have a script or anything I'm going off of. I'm just kind of winging it right now. And I'm not really reviewing about how these boards ride. Really, I'm going to kind of talk about that, but I'm not really a snowboard reviewer by any means. But I just kind of want to point out a couple things. Set up exactly the same. The MalaVita bindings, which this board is from 2012 time. This is from 2022 or 2021. The bindings are basically the exact same, except for this one has the glossy black. This has more of the matte black. I went with the brown strap one. Actually, I kind of regretted buying these at first. I wish I would have got the white ones, but seeing them on my board in person, I do think that they look pretty slick. But they're basically the same exact thing. They didn't really change anything. You know, I'm not sure if this is gonna show up in camera, but they're not really different. I don't know what's different about them. Are the materials different? I can see on these older ones, you can see Burton is on the strap. The newer ones don't have that. So that's probably some cost savings. These ones have the leather strap thing. So does this one. This one on the toe does not have it. This one does. I don't really know what's better. They both feel exactly the same as far as I know. Didn't have any issues with the newer ones versus the older ones, with only the real difference being the strap. So I don't know if getting rid of the Burton on the strap, if that's just a money savings thing or what, or getting rid of this toe thing on this newer one, that's money savings. I don't know, but they appear to be basically the exact same. The older ones have like a plastic window. The newer ones don't. You can touch it through the board. So I don't know if that is better or worse or what, but that is something different. I guess maybe it's weight savings. We could say that. Weight savings on the new ones. But I'm guessing that's more Burton saving, 10 cents on each binding, which adds up. So if it doesn't really affect the performance of the binding, I don't have a problem with that. You can see on here, you got a little Burton logo. Don't know if that's going to show up. You can see it. Burton logo on this one, and I just noticed this. There's no Burton logo, so I think Burton kind of cheaped out a little bit. I don't think it's enough to knock them for, especially if it saves money. But I do think this board I paid roughly $800 for complete back in 2012. This one I paid about $1,000 for complete in 2022. I don't really know quality wise. The bindings appear to be the same. Just a few things that are a little bit different here. It looks like money savings. But I'm pretty sure, I paid more for this one. And you think if they're going to make them exactly the same over the course of 10 years, that they're not spending a bunch in research and development, that the price would go down on them. But what do you do? As far as the boards go, this one is basically the Flying V custom, but back when this came out, they had the Flying V and they had the camber humps. The camber humps one, which is this one, you had to buy it from a Burton dealer. You couldn't order this board through their website. So this is camber humps. It's basically the Flying V, if you don't know what that is. There's like camber under the bindings, and then it's reverse in the middle of the board. And I think it's reverse on the tail and the nose too. I can't remember exactly what the marketing said about it back then, but this is a fun board to ride. It's an easy board to ride. Definitely when I first got on it, I started riding better like pretty much first day. This one, the new one, I went with the camber just because I already had the hybrid version, and I don't want to have the two of the exact same boards. I wanted to see how much different the camber really was, and immediately you can tell it's got more snap to it. It feels like it's got like more cushion on your feet almost. But as far as riding goes, I do feel like the camber is a little bit less forgiving. I guess the best way to put it. It's harder to get the board to flex, but I did ollie it once, and if you do it just right, you can feel the pop of the board, so that's kind of cool. I do feel like it carves better, and it's a little bit better on like steeper stuff or when you're going faster. There's other people that can probably articulate better than me on that, because by no means am I a snowboard reviewer or expert. I'm somebody that goes and rides probably anywhere from 1 to 15 times a year. Last year I didn't ride at all. This year I've probably gone 6 or 7 times. But it's something else I wanted to kind of talk about when we talk about these boards. I got this is a setup for $800, and you can buy cheaper bindings. They make cheaper decks. So this one was roughly $1,000. So 10 years old, the board still rides as good as new. I think it's got some chips and little dings and stuff on it, but that's going to happen no matter what. So when we talk about if you're into this, just the rental board alone is going to cost you $30 to $50. You know what I mean? So if you go 10 times a year, you spend $1,000, you keep the board for 10 years. The board is costing you $10 every time you go and ride versus 30 or 50. So, if it's something that you're going to be getting into, I would recommend buying a board versus renting. Even if you're only going to go 5 times a year, you know what I mean? You can keep a board for a very long time and it'll still be good. This is proof of it. This board is it might even be from 2010. It might be 12 years old, but it's in that time, 2010, 2012. The bindings, Burton really hasn't changed much. So I don't know if I recommend really getting a new board. I mean, maybe if you have a Flying V version, and you want to get the camber and want to have 2 complete decks, whatever. The way I look at it, I have a spare board. If a friend wants to go, I got a spare board they can ride. I'm gonna keep on riding the new one for the rest of the year. See how it goes. At first I didn't really like how the board looked, just with the stripe down the middle and all white, but once you see it in person, it is pretty slick. I do like the brown strap. I do like how the bindings look. I kind of regretted buying these at first. I was like, it's gonna look dumb, but I do like the brown strap. It's kind of a cool little look, I guess. So that's that. So I don't really know anything else to say, but I just wanted to make a quick little video. And like I said, I'm not somebody who's a snowboard reviewer. Just like when I make my bike videos, I have a pretty serious job. I have a small business. I don't always have time to go on YouTube. But I snowboard as much as I can. I ride my bike as much as I can. I make these videos as much as I can. I would like to do it more, but I don't always have time for this stuff. But I just figured this is worth bringing up, because you would think that in the course of 10 years, they would have made some huge changes to some of these things, and I don't think Burton really did. Like, you got these like stubbed out nose and tail, which I don't know. Maybe that's weight savings. Maybe it helps with like pressing or what. I don't know, but I'm not really a park rider, so. But I do think it, gives the board a little bit different look. But one thing that does bother me real quick is they don't seem like they're symmetrical, which kind of messes with my head a little bit. I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but whatever. I still like the board. Still fun to ride. The camber, I would say it's a little bit harder to ride. The Flying V, I would probably recommend more for most people, but I think for charging around, this is a good one to get. So other than that, there are other people out there that made more in-depth reviews about this board. I just want to kind of compare it to a board that's 10 years old, which is the same exact model. They both have the channel. So, all right, that's where I'm going to leave it. Have a good one.